Joe Paterno was the head football coach at Penn State University for 44 years. Joe Paterno was undoubtedly a god for Penn State football, and Penn State football was a religion there. His hierarchy at this university was well documented. Penn State lives and breathes football, and up until recently, they lived and breathed Joe Paterno. He was a devout Catholic that led his football team to a record number of wins and success. He had a statue outside of Beaver Stadium, which is where the football team plays. Joe Paterno was Penn State. We all know what happened at Penn State between the allegations of a child sex scandal with Jerry Sandusky and Joe Paterno. While he didn't do anything wrong, he told the supervisors that one of his employees had been sexually abusing children. He never did anything else about it, and in a way, he kind of let it happen. And this was a problem at Penn State University, and it ultimately tarnished his reputation there. The reason I want to talk about this case in particular is that we have a clashing here between two completely different aspects. We have religious morals clashing with the monetary economy. Penn State football, it is a religion at the school. It's a long-standing tradition, and people worship the football team in a way just as they worship Joe Paterno. But at the same time, Penn State football, it's a business. Fans pay to see the games, they have a large television contract, and they recruit students and pay them through tuition to come to the school. And part of what makes a religion is it's supposed to unify people and stand for something that's good. And what makes this case so interesting with this class is that we had a school put the morals on the back burner in order to maintain the amount of money they were making. This event occurring is so important to modern sport because it seems that modern sport is now driven solely by money. In a way, the essence of sport itself is becoming lost with the amount of advertisements and commercials and mass media that's involved with sport nowadays. This idea that the monetary economy is hurting the sacredness that sport contains as a religion is shared by many people. I'm going to read you a passage out of A Gift of Sports by Philip P. Arnold about consumerism. He says, "Consumerism, as an ideology of monetary exchange practices, seems to articulate many of these religious ideals. The singular human being, the self, is the central focus of exchange activity. The self is a closed system towards which flow the goods of the world. The self is the axis mundi. The self, in many ways, replaces the absent God as the omniscient, omnipresent force in the world. Money makes these religious attitudes and assumptions physical, if not material. The self must be maintained at all costs. Its value is supreme, and its survival set above all other living beings." Having the self as an axis mundi is detrimental to the sacredness of sport. Instead of a community healing process like that takes place in the sport lacrosse with the Haudenosaunee people, the monetary economy at Penn State was driving towards self-preservation. And more importantly, they were driving towards self-preservation over the morals that the university was founded upon. The most important lesson that we can learn from the fall of the god of Penn State football is that sports should be used as a totem. Sports are meant to be shared and celebrated by everyone for the purity of the game itself. The monetary economy drives out this idea, and people like Joe Paterno are left to make difficult decisions that are not always morally acceptable as a result. This can be seen all over the sports landscape through match fixing, illegal recruiting practices, and most recently, an embarrassing short suspension for an NFL football player who was caught in the act of domestic violence on camera. In order to restore sport to its glory and to restore its reputation, people must work towards channeling this monetary economy towards good causes. Instead of promoting dishonesty like Penn State football and Joe Paterno did, Sport should try to unite people and donate to good causes. Sport should be the religion that makes people change their everyday actions for the greater good. Sport should create a better foundation for morals and ethics that each and every person can aspire to.